Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we uncover the financial secrets that even CEOs might try to hide. Today we're diving into Modus Holdings Incorporated's latest filing, and let's just say there is some interesting financial maneuvering happening. Before we dive in, if you love getting these straight financial insights, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to connect with other finance enthusiasts, our Discord community link is in the description below. Let's get decoding. This is an 8K filing which companies use to announce big news that shareholders should know about right away. Think of it as a company's urgent bulletin board. Modus Holdings Incorporated, or AMOD as we'll call them, is reporting on some pretty significant agreements they've entered into. Now, we're not going to get bogged down in all the administrative details like their phone number, but what is important here is that AMOD is keeping the market informed about key deals. First off, let's talk about what they're trading. They've got Class A common stock, which is pretty standard. It is worth a tiny fraction of a cent per S-share, but what matters is its value in the market. They also have redeemable warrants, which are like options that give people the right to buy shares at a certain price in the future. The company identifies as an emerging growth company. This usually means they are relatively new and have less than a certain amount of revenue, giving them some flexibility with financial reporting rules. This can be a good thing for growth, but it also means less scrutiny sometimes. Now here is where it gets interesting. AMOD has entered into an agreement for what is called the Accession Note. This is essentially a loan made to the company. It is for a significant amount, over $700,000 originally, and it came from one of the family trusts of their CEO, William Alessi. This tells us that company leadership is putting their own money into the business. The company received $500,000 back in September. And this note solidifies that financial arrangement. It carries an 8% interest rate, which is pretty normal for these types of loans, and it is due in September of next year. The really key part here is that this note can be converted into shares of AMOD common stock. This means if the stock price goes up, the lender can convert their debt into ownership, potentially making a nice profit. The conversion price is set at $5 per S-share. Next up, we have another deal involving the Haas-DeBosk Family Trust. This is a securities purchase agreement, which means the trust is buying something from AMOD in exchange for money. They're getting a convertible promissory note, similar to the Alessi note, for $400,000. This note accrues 7% interest. So it is a bit cheaper than the Alessi note. It is also due next October. This one has a catch though. It can be converted into stock at 80% of the 5-day average stock price starting 6 months after it is issued. This is a pretty smart move for the investor, as it allows them to get stock at a discount if the company's stock price performs well. On top of that note, the Haas-DeBosk Trust is also getting warrants to buy over 360,000 shares of AMOD stock at a price of just over $1 per S-share. Warrants are like a bonus for making the investment, giving the trust another way to profit if the stock price climbs. These warrants give the holders the right to buy shares at a set price, so if the stock goes up significantly from that $1 plus exercise price, the trust makes money. These deals show AMOD is raising capital through debt that can turn into equity, a common strategy for growth companies. It's essentially borrowing money that can become ownership later, which helps manage cash flow while also bringing in potential new shareholders. This section is typically where you'd find the actual documents for these agreements if they were filed. We're just looking at the summary here, which is common for an 8K. The important takeaway is AMOD is actively securing funding and structuring deals that involve convertible debt and warrants. This is a sign of a company trying to grow and needing capital to do so. Now, looking at these transactions more broadly, AMOD seems to be in a phase of actively seeking funding and structuring deals to fuel its growth. The fact that leadership like William Alessi is personally investing shows confidence from within. The convertible notes and warrants are a way to attract investors by offering them a chance for significant upside if the company's stock performs well. However, there are always risks. Convertible debt can dilute existing shareholders' ownership if converted, meaning each share represents a smaller piece of the company. Also, these types of notes can sometimes signal that traditional lending sources are not readily available or are too expensive. The company needs to ensure that this borrowed money translates into real business growth and profitability. If the stock doesn't perform as expected, these investors might not get their desired return, and the company will still owe the principal and interest on the notes. A critical question for investors is whether AMOD can actually execute on its growth plans and increase its stock price to a level where these conversion options become attractive, but not so high that it significantly dilutes existing shareholders. It is a balancing act. In conclusion, Modus Holdings Incorporated is actively managing its financing, using convertible notes and warrants to secure capital. This strategy can be effective for growth, but it comes with the inherent risks of potential dilution and the need for strong performance to satisfy investors. The company is clearly betting on future growth to make these financial instruments work in its favor. What is your take on these kinds of financial maneuvers? Do you see them as smart growth strategies or potential red flags? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown useful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate decoding. Don't forget to join our Discord community for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.